Adverb. Gonna work. Più non mama. So that N is gonna get a little extra energy. Next one that you recognize? E come. Right, so the E is gonna vibrate enough, but then it gets right to the K sound. E come. Next one?
Poi.
Before that. Oh, I'm sorry, poi. Yeah, poi if it had a consonant after it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if it had a consonant after it, absolutely. Ed geloso. What's the first phoneme of gelosi or geloso? D.
Oh,
so we're going to go to that D. Ed geloso. Make sense?
Geloso.
Keep going.
Poi.
Poi.
Tutti, yeah? Or is there one before that?
Sorry, I'm one before that.
E per.
E per orgoglio. Right. And then poi, yeah. Poi tutti, and then Masse Figaro. Now, here's the next question. What if you have a couple of rafforzamenti in a row? Do you do them all equal? You can't, because it's just too much. It gets in the way, yeah, but and there's too many speed bumps. So you kind of have to decide, where is it functionally more useful? Again, this isn't about a rule. Rafforzamento is not a rule. It's an observation, it's a practice, it's something that you can use to show the syntax, to make the syntax manifest for their ears. Are they always going to understand exactly what you're doing? No. But are you going to engage their ears in a way that they're hearing punctuation, and they're hearing speech, they're hearing humanity on the stage. So you want to try to keep finding these ways to engage. So, if you were thinking about this, is it Masse Figaro Tama or is Masse Figaro Tama? What do those two choices mean, and how does it change things?
It's hard because they're both important. Like, if is interesting and important, and
Right.
but Figaro is also important.
Could you make the choice to do both? I mean, I feel like dramatically in this moment,
If you're really
I feel
wanting
like
to
you
put the
really
brakes
just
on your
said that
Masse
big.
Figaro Tama,
Yeah.
that has a particular feeling,
because she
right?
like catches herself, right? It's like, oh, but
So that's one reading, and it gives us that feel. Really
Yeah.
stop. Okay, so choose one.
Masse Figaro Tama.
So what does that one give you?
Like
Well, you
more
can-
uncertainty,
Mama
like more if.
yeah, more if.
And then the Se Figaro Tama is like a whole construction of, it's a hypothetical, right? Se Figaro Tama. Okay,
But
now,
if you do Masse Figaro Tama, it's like, but Figaro is different. Like men are like
why?
this, but
What's
Figaro
that tell
is
you?
different.
Yeah, exactly. Figaro is different. Because you're comparing Figaro to somebody else. So you see how this can be really, really powerful in structuring your text. You have to make choices. And it can be a fun puzzle. You don't want to get stuck, but if you're looking at a line, you're going, how can I make people understand what's going on here? Well, you have these tools. You don't just have to act. You're using actual tools to chisel away at this text and make it powerful. Number 4.
Speak the text, observing the punctuation.
How many people have seen the old Victor Borga punctuation routine?
What? Oh, yeah.
So let's have our Countess and our Susanna do this one more time. And all I'd like you to do is say the punctuation out loud. Vieni, comma, cara Susanna, colon. Go. And this time, don't worry about the line breaks.
Ok. Vieni, cara Susanna, colon. Finiscimi l'istoria, period.
È già finita, period.
Dunque, volle sedurti, question mark.
Oh, il signor Conte.
Don't stop.
Oh, don't stop.
This time.
Okay. Oh, il signor Conte non fa tai complimenti con le donne mi pari, colon. Egli venne a contratto di denari, period.
Ah, il crudel più non mamma, exclamation point.
E come, poi, è geloso di voi, question mark?
Come lo sono I moderni mariti, colon. Per sistema infedeli, per genio capricciosi, e per orgoglio, poi, tutti gelosi.
So what'd you learn? What little revelations came out of that?
Things I was kind of just blowing through before, perhaps.
Okay, maybe.
Now considering a little.
Yeah,
little
what
bit
else?
different.
What rhetorical device did we see in Contessa in the last chunk?
It gave more structure, I think.
A list.
Yeah.
Did you see the list?
Yeah.
Lists are awesome. What else did you see?
She's more thorough, I guess, in her explanation towards the end. It's considerably more structured, almost even thought out ahead of time.
Practical.
Thought about
Yeah.
this before.
Okay, great. So you're able to sort of make some dramatic choices about what you see, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
5.
Speak with text playing with the up and down shape the composer has provided, but without singing.
You know, I did not print a Susanna and Countess thing, but let me grab a couple and we'll just see what happens. There's 1 and 2. Top of Act 2, right? Sorry, this one's really falling apart. There you go. There's 1.
I got one.
Oh, you got it. Awesome. Great. So, just do a little musical up and down, but don't sing.
Okay.
But now, but don't worry about line breaks because they're not notated on the page yet.
What about rests?
Sure.
Okay.
Just see what's there. This is about observing, surveying, and seeing what you find. And then you have to make choices. This really is only about the up and down.
Vieni, cara Susanna, finiscimi l'istoria.
È già finita.
Dunque vuole sedurti.
O il signor Conte non fa i complimenti con le donne mie pari. Egli venne a contratto di danari.
Oh, il crudel più non mamma.
E come poi è geloso di voi.
Come lo sono i moderni mariti, per sistema infedeli, per genio capricciosi e per orgoglio poi tutti gelosi. Ma se Figaro t'ama, esso potria.
There's something in this that I had never really noticed before. The Countess says, Dunque volle sedurti. If I'm reading this, I think, Dunque volle sedurti? So he wanted to seduce you? It's not what Mozart did. He went, Dunque volle sedurti.
Yeah.
How is that different?
Sure, he knows it. It's
You-
more definite.
It's very definite. So how does that help you? When you're looking at just the text, you're going to make some preconceptions, and that's fine. So the next step is to say, okay, what did the composer do? What clues is the composer giving me? When you're trying to learn pitches, sometimes the process of learning pitches can trump the observation of what's happening with the pitches, of the function of the pitches. So this is a step that most of us skip. I skip it most of the time, and yet it can be such a great clue to what's going on. So if you have the time to do that kind of work, and it doesn't take a long time, does it? It's like, oh, that's interesting, and you can play with it. Okay. Let's keep going, and once we get through this, phrasing thing, we'll take a little break. Somebody read phrasing.
In classes a few years ago, introducing our singers to Shakespeare, stage director and Shakespeare scholar Kate Powers demonstrated the expressive impact of a simple breath at the end of each line to text, regardless of punctuation. The application of this same punctuation of recitativo secco can yield fascinating results, often bearing a striking resemblance to spontaneous speech. Just as in Shakespeare, some phrases call for the exception of enjambment. But even phrases that seem linear can be articulated to great effect. For the sake of our class, we'll call this application folio recitative technique.
Who knows what a folio? Owen, of course, cannot answer this one. What's a folio? What's a quarto?
They're sizes of printing depending on when you print something on a huge piece of paper and then however many times you fold it before you bind it.
How many times is a folio?
Half folio is just fold in half.
One
and then
fold.
quarto is
Quarto is
quarters.
two folds.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So a quarto is going to be smaller. Which is more respected, quarto or folio?
Folio.
Why do you think that is? And I don't know if my theory is correct, but I'm going to float it out here and see if Owen has an idea about this.
I don't know, but my guess.
Which is more respected generally?
The folio is more respected,
Any ideas about why?
It's probably something that, because of its size, doesn't leave the hands of the composer very often. Is therefore a more
Okay,
possibly
that's a
authentic
cool idea. Okay. For me, if I'm looking at this old printing here, the bigger it is, the more chance that we get the whole line without messing with it. If you're starting to fold and make it smaller, you're making more compromises about what fits on a line, and it starts to get harder to see. I don't know, maybe that's a crazy idea.
That makes sense. The speed of production as well.
Speed of production.
Yeah, quarters
Great.
were just thrown out,
Right.
whereas folios took a longer time to produce.
Because you've got to set them on a bigger page and
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Okay. Continue.
Where were we? Were we at the end of the
One,
first
I
paragraph?
think.
Oh, okay. No, find a reliable.
Fight it out. Come on. Duke it out. Come on.
Sorry.
So you can do it live.
With the line breaks clearly laid out on the page. You'll be able to tell if this is the case by counting a few lines of syllables and things come up 7s and 11s.
Or 6s and 8s and 10s and 12s. But yeah.
7s and 11s-ish.
Keep going.
Read the text with at least a short lift or break at the end of each line of text. Don't try to make too much sense of the line endings at first. Just observe where they are. Examine the context of the recitative, including each character and that of the others in the scene. Is your character agitated or calm? In the command or subject to someone else's? In a hurry or trying to stall? Try applying subjective ideas to the breaks, starting with a change of actionable verb or your address to whom you are speaking at each break.
Somebody continue.
Begin to make choices about the expressive possibilities of each line break. Timing, action, address, attitude. These initial decisions may change with input from a director or your colleagues, but the initial choice will help secure your memory at a faster pace and help you map the vast amounts of embedded information. Don't give up too quickly on a line break you don't understand. While it could be an enjambment, it could also be a great opportunity for something expressively rich.
Great. So let's go back to Countess and Susanna, and we don't have to stick with our Countess and Susanna. If somebody else wants to jump in, that's great. Tim, you could be Countess.
Okay.
If you want, somebody grab, and somebody want to take a crack at one bit of this. Come on. Great. Which do you want to do, Susanna or Countess?
Can I do Contessa?
Great. And do we have a Susanna?
I totally don't understand it, so I'm gonna go for it.
Awesome.
Yay.
Awesome. So we're gonna go back to just reading to the end of the line once, and we'll go about halfway through, just so you can get the feeling of go to the end of the line and stop. Don't worry about making sense of it yet.
Vieni, cara Susanna, finiscimi l'istoria.
È già finita.
Dunque vuole sedurti?
O il signor Conte non fatta i complimenti con le donne mie pari. Egli venne a contratto di denari.
Hai il crudel più non mama.
E come, poi? È geloso di voi.
Come lo sono i moderni mariti, per sistema infideli, per genio capricciosi e per orgoglio poi tutti gelosi.
Good. Okay. So, over the actually, Miss Helen Myers came up with a great idea based on what Lucy's been doing and a sort of basic theory of opera acting that I have. I always thought of the acting that we need to do as opera singers as where it's coming from, whether it's thinking or feeling someplace in the torso or in the lower body, so a mapping in your body where it's coming from, plus the action and what it's landing on. In other words, SVO acting, subject, verb, object. So if you can decide what the subject, what part of the subject you are, what the verb is, what the action is that you're doing, and what it's landing on, and you're using those line breaks as invitations to examine what could change, then you're starting to put a lens on this text. So, vieni cara Susanna, where is that coming from for the Countess? Is that heartfelt? Is it gut? Is it, is it for hips and legs? I think of like sex, God, violence, like really primal instincts. Heart, gut, like, oh, it hurts, or it's a feeling of dread or something. Spine, ideas of strength. Thinking verbs, imagining, remembering, looking forward to, so more temporal things. So, vieni cara Susanna, where's that coming from?
Dread definitely makes sense in this scene, so maybe gut.
Is it for vieni cara Susanna, though?
No, probably not yet. That would probably be too.
How do you feel about
anticipatory.
Susanna?
She loves her.
Okay.
It's
So let's map that to heart, just
Okay.
for shits and giggles,
Okay.
as my mom used to say.
all right.
Finiscimi l'istoria. Where's that coming from?
That could maybe more be dread. Finish the story about my husband. cheating on
Okay,
her.
I like that. So go to gut.
Okay.
And now, if she started with gut, you kind of got to stay with gut,
Fine with me.
because we want to try to find ways to unify a line. So we're going from heart to gut, and then she says, "Dunque volle sedurti."
Still good.
Still gut? Okay.
And then I think
If you're staying with gut, but what about non fai tai complimenti? Where's that coming from?
that starts to come from thought. So
Okay, you want to make that heady? Good.
Yeah.
Non fai tai complimenti con le donne. Then what about con le donne mie, pare?
I think it's still it's still thought. But no, that's heart. That's heart. I'm changing my mind because that's heart for her.
Okay, cool. But then,
Disgust.
where is disgust?
Is that gut? Back to gut?
Sure, it can be gut. Or if you're getting pissed, you could go to spine.
Oh.
If you want to stand up to him. There's no, my feeling of what a heart thing is, and a gut thing is, and a spine thing, and my legs, doesn't have to match up with yours.
Yeah.
This is just a way of mapping it for yourself.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with gut.
Okay? You got a pencil?
Yes.
You have one?
Mhm.
Awesome. Hai il crudel più non mama. Where's that for you?
Heart. Heart can be heart
Great.
broken or that, right? Yeah.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. What about è gelosa di voi?
Back to head. I start heart, then back to head.
Okay. Cool. Andrea?
Come lo sono, maybe still heart, and then the rest of it, head. I am thinking. Until Mase Figurotama, which is Mase Figurotama. Until Mase
I'm
Figurotama.
gonna challenge you, and
Yeah?
it can be random if you like, for
Okay.
I moderni, infedeli, and
Uh-huh.
to move the map.
Okay.
It
Okay.
can be random, and I don't care if it's.
Okay.
And this doesn't have to be a final. This isn't about creating final versions. This is about seeing what happens.
Okay. So then I'm gonna do head, gut, spine, and back to.
Okay, so you get it all mapped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to do this again. Allow yourself the fraction of a second at the end of the line to move the map.
Mm-hmm.
Take the breath. And then read the line from wherever it comes from.
Okay.
Okay? Go for it.
Vieni cara Susanna, finiscimi l'istoria.
È già finita.
Dunque volle sedurti?
Oh, il signor Conte non fatai complimenti con le donne mie pari. Egli venne a contratto di danari.
Al crudel più non mama.
E come poi? È geloso di voi.
Come lo sono i moderni mariti, per sistema infideli, per genio capricciosi e per orgoglio poi tutti gelosi. Ma se Figaro t'ama lei sol potria?
Any observations from you guys first about what that felt like? Did some feel like they worked better or worse?
I felt like I lost connection with you between Divoy and Come Lo Sono.
Yeah,
Like just, I felt like I didn't really
come
connect
in
with you when I
as
said
early.
that.
I understand why we're doing it, and it's good that we're doing it, but I, in some way, like, really don't like stopping at the ends of line breaks. It just makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I don't
We'll
know.
see why that's going to be something to deal with.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt like my instincts were very organized.
Yes,
I
yeah.
felt that it kind of like everything for me.
Anything that you want to change? Was there what by going through it once did you go, oh, I didn't like that. I want to do something else? Or did you find that your choices were pretty good and instinctive and they worked?
I got ideas for other choices. I thought everything worked
Cool.
fine, but
So,
you know.
Just by doing it,
Yeah.
you kind of went, oh, there's something different here. Any observations from the peanut gallery?
It sounded like they knew exactly what they were doing. Like you said in the first coaching, how it connects the different like synapses in your brain to where you engage your entire like being in the text instead of just trying to read it properly. And so when you see that on stage or you hear that, it sounds like a lot more organized and like this is how it should be kind of thing.
So yes.
Oh, just that it became very, very clear that they are talking about love because it continues to go from something that's matter of fact to something that's more emotionally driven.
You heard more factual words versus more emotional words.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Any other observations?
Well, I just because I'm sitting next to her, I could, and hearing the breathing at the end of the line breaks, like on "È già finita." She kind of took like and then like from an acting point of view, it was like kind of like an anticipatory breath, like kind of wondering what the Countess is going to say next. And I was like, oh, that was really organic, kind of.
Cool.
I really liked that. I was like, ooh, it's coming to life.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was also just a very nice flow to the whole thing that didn't come as a result of speed. So it was slow enough that it was comprehensible, and yet still naturally flowing.
Cool. Andrea, back to you.
Yeah.
Where did you not like a line break? Where did it make you go, oh, that makes me so
well,
mad?
I really only have one line at a time until her little speech at the end.
Right.
But I also found myself stopping at the punctuation, which I guess you could do or not do, but I just felt like it was
Tell
like
me one.
tiny
Tell
little
me,
chunks.
Tell
Stop
me
it.
one that makes you really uncomfortable.
The combination of the first two lines made me uncomfortable because of also the punctuation. I just felt like I was like, come lo sono i moderni mariti per il sistema infidel, you know what I mean?
Right. I do know exactly what you mean.
But I have
So-
the opposite issue of blowing through things too fast in
What
general,
if-
so maybe that's good.
I said, come lo sono i moderni mariti.
Like, motivate the pauses. Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to see where the breaks are. Now, are we going to stop? No. But here's what we're going to try to do. We are going to try to figure out, is there some kind of energy that can be shifted or turned or added to make the next line move? Does every single line need a new motivation? Not necessarily. But so if you have a whole bunch of, if you're in Recit, and if you have a bunch of like 3 or 4 7s in a row, maybe you combine a couple of them. But if you've got a whole bunch of 11s, I think that's the librettist going, there's some stuff happening here. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you figure out something to do with it. Look at your come lo sono speech one more time. And you take, I mean, you're smart.
Thank you.
Give me the motivations, not by explaining them, but just by shifting something. You'll be thinking about it, but we're going to do 2 more things really quickly. We did the subject, okay? So the verb is your actionable verb. How many people know about this book? Awesome. All of you by the end of the class. Now you know about this book! Yay! It is hundreds and hundreds of actionable verbs. In the back, if you get stuck emoting, and that's what most of us opera people do, we emote. I'm happy, I'm sad. It's, you know, that's not an action. Acting is actions. So, if you're in an emotive state, you can go to the back here, and there are 3 groups of 3 words here. Nurturing verbs, using verbs, and damaging verbs. Under nurturing verbs, there's loving, encouraging, and supporting. Those are like subgroups. And you can start to sort of explore if you're stuck. Loving words. There's a page and a half of loving verbs. There's a page and a half of encouraging words. There's a page and a half of supporting words. And then you can go with those and you can go here. Or, even more fun, you can go, I hit a blank page. Here's, I'm just going to do this. Phase. Can you phase me? Sure. Can you disgrace someone? Can you tap someone? There's hundreds and hundreds of words here that you can start to apply. So that's the second part of the equation, is the verb, is the action. What am I doing? Where's it coming from? What am I doing to, what's the third part? The object. So the object can be what? What are some things that you can act upon?
Another person.
The other person in the scene? Absolutely. What else?
Situation.
The situation. So the situation is, the Count is not in the room, is he?
No, not yet.
So we're having this idea of what the Count is. Let's just shift it slightly for the sake of this scene. All men. So we're talking about these men. So what can you do to those men who are all unfaithful, capricious, and prideful?
Shame.
You could shame them. What else? I heard another one.
Slap them?
Well, you can't physically because they're not here. It's an idea.
Concept.
Oh, okay.
Dislike.
Reprimand.
Reprimand.
Embarrassed.
Resent. Well, that's not so active, is it? But embarrass.
Is that too removed?
No. Why?
I don't know. I'm thinking about the Dabran.
Fedeli.
You can separate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Distance. Maybe a little easier to make active. Great. So, back to your 5 lines of text here.
Yeah.
Think about the shifts of where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think of some verbs. What are you doing when you say I moderni mariti? What
I'm
if
trying
we
to think of
use
something active.
what if we use Rachel's thing here? What if we
Yeah.
set them off?
Yeah, that's exactly what
I
she's
moderni
doing.
mariti per sistema. Now, what about infedeli? What are you doing to all those modern husbands?
Shaming them or like dismissing them.
Pick.
Dismiss is maybe a better one than
Well, you already separated them, so
separate.
why don't you use the other one just to make
Like,
something different?
Okay.
So you said shame.
Yeah. Or that's not super active, but maybe that's
I
okay.
think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great
Okay.
choice.
Thank you.
And then the last one, e per orgoglio poi tutti gelosi. What if we don't worry so much about the verb for a second? Why don't we change your address? You're addressing this group of husbands. What if you bring your address back to Susanna? So we're going to just do those 5 lines.
Okay.
You're doing a couple of really specific actionable verbs, shifting at the ends of the sentence. So take the time to do that, and then shift your object at the end. Maybe start come lo sono to her.
Okay. Come lo sono I moderni
But
mariti.
stop before I moderni mariti and
Okay.
separate them.
Okay. Alright. Come lo sono I moderni mariti per sistema infideli, per
Good.
genio
Good. So let's actually say the operative word.
Okay.
So you're going to say come lo sono, and then you're going to say separate.
Separate.
And then I moderni per sistema, and then shame. Just to sort of make it happen, and then Susanna.
Okay.
Just to give yourself the time and the intention to shift.
Okay. Come lo sono separate I moderni mariti per sistema shame infideli per genio capricciosi Susanna e per orgoglio poi tutti gelosi.
Good. Do one more time. Just think the active idea.
Okay. Okay. Come lo sono I moderni mariti per sistema infideli per genio capricciosi e per orgoglio poi tutti gelosi. Ma se Figaro t'ama e sol potria.
Observations?
The syntax was more organized for me as a listener.
Good. Do you know this recit that well?
No.
Were you still getting some stuff out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Now, by doing it a couple of times and by mapping out what you're going to do, you were able to bring things closer and closer together to the point where we almost had the feeling of enjambment, but with intention shifting. The trick is keeping it from bleeding too much.
Right.
Because if it bleeds from one line to the next, we don't really get a feeling of specificity.
Right.
Karen used to talk about opera singers being like big cruise ships. It takes a long time for those cruise ships to turn. And we don't